Good morning, everybody. I've got back from church. I guess that's the blessing of unemployment, is that you can go to church every day and put the Blessed Sacrament first. So that's what I've been doing. I've been going to church, and when I don't go to the church next door, I join in online anyway. So it's a good opportunity for me since I am at home. And I have been doing that for the last 2 years when I've been at home. I've been trying to go at least once a week during the week, if not more, and staying for the Rosary. And if I don't go, then I do it at home. There's nothing wrong with praying on your own at home. In fact, it can be quite enriching, and to have that silence as well. For my friends who are in England, there's 3 opportunities open with the Jesuits in Britain. I'm also applying to the Jesuits in Britain, and if I get a job there with them, then I'll go, because I do miss Father Damian Howard. I was with him for 3 years. It was a long time ago, but I did a lot with him. I did a lot in Brixton, which is the poorest area of London, and helped to serve in the communities there at the Mass. And I do pray for him. I pray for him for his priesthood, that God blesses him and guides him. And I would ask others to pray for him too, and to pray for me, to pray that I get a job soon and I get a break, and that my life turns around. Because if you look at my life is like the life of somebody who has no education, who has no skills, who never went to university, who's not a Maxwell speaker, who hasn't talked in the schools here in Canada, who hasn't represented the Mandela Children's Fund, who hasn't done any reading in the church. That's what my life is like. That's how the pay grade is for my life. It never seems to get to a point where I can actually buy my own home, where I can travel, where I can go on pilgrimages. It's like never ending. So, I really don't get it. I don't know what the problem is with this country, but that's the way it seems to be going. And it's going on for decades and decades and decades. So I just pray I get a break, and that things change for me, and that things will fall into place for me. Because I've also done a lot in the parish here. I've led things for Father Larry. I've led the children's liturgy. I've helped with the Eucharistic Ministry. I've helped with hospitality. I've helped with music at the Newman Centre and at Regis College. I've done a lot. But if you look at how I'm earning, and if you look at the unemployment, you'll think that I never did anything in Canada. You'll think that I never worked, that I never contributed, that I never helped anybody in my life. The way that things have gone for me, it's very strange. It's very strange. I do all the work and everybody else gets all the benefits, all the good paid jobs, all the stability. It's very strange how this country treats single women. And being barren is not a curse. It's not like in the Old Testament where it's a curse if you don't have children. We single women have many children all over the world, through the people we educate, through the donations we make, through what we do. Not everybody lands up being married. So it's very strange how I'm being targeted with robocalls, with dirty text messages, with ongoing unemployment, people getting me out of my jobs. It's strange, because in most places, in other countries in the world, they bend over backwards to keep somebody like me. Somebody who's a knowledge worker, who's educated, who's helped to make things better for the team, who's helped in the church and is still helping in the church, who volunteers, who gives of their time and their effort. That's what I see happening in the rest of the world, but not in Canada. In Canada, when you're good, you get punished for it, you get put into the worst paid jobs, you get treated badly, you're made to suffer until your ears get affected and you get high blood pressure, you don't get accommodated. When it's time to renew your mortgage, the banks refuse to give it to you when they're the ones who are hiring on contracts. So it's very strange how this country works. That's all I can say. Because in other countries, it's the exact opposite. So I really hope that things turn around for me and get better for me. Because you don't come to a country to sit at home and to get unemployment and to constantly be asking that, oh, can you help me to get some welfare benefits and some social assistance? After you've educated yourselves, you've upgraded your skills, you've gone to church, you've volunteered, you've helped in the community, you sponsored your mother, you really sit and wonder, like, really? What is this country all about then, if that's what you want to do? And instead of putting systems in place to help them retain people who have been here decades, they're putting systems in place so that companies can hire new people, bring in unskilled workers and give them the jobs, and let you sink into poverty and make it seem like you're a prostitute, like you can't hold a job, like you can't do anything, you're incapable of working, you're incapable of speaking, you're incapable of helping in the church, you're incapable of running your home. I mean, to create impression like that of somebody like me is completely unacceptable. Completely. And even if you're telling people you love me, what do you think I care? You think I care that Bono's telling the whole world that he loves me when he does nothing to help me get into a job, to help me to get something with the music industry, or to help me get something in one of the banks or in a non-profit, and he's sitting and watching my life sinking into poverty, meanwhile he's telling everybody that he loves me. I'm not stupid. That I don't need that kind of love in my life. That's not, to me, that's not love. To me, that's hate. That's how you treat somebody that you hate. You sit back and you watch them going into poverty, becoming sick, becoming unemployed, and doing all the work so that you can build up your kingdom and you can get the money from the government and you can get all the partnerships and all that. That's not love. I'm sorry. And it's the same thing with the companies I worked at. If you love me, you make sure that I have a job, that I'm employed, that I can cover my bills, that I have stability. That's love, not what's happening to my life. Really? There are people that go on pilgrimages from my church. They travel, they go all over the world. I also want to be able to do those things one day. I also want to have those blessings in my life, not to be sitting at home unemployed. And if they thought it was going to break my faith, it only made my faith stronger, because it gave me time and opportunity to go to church, to be in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Sometimes I don't go in the morning when everybody's there. I go in the evening or I go in the afternoon where I can have that quiet time in the church. It didn't break my faith. It made it stronger. It made everything that people do to break me, it makes my faith stronger. It doesn't break me. If you actually did something good for me, if you sent me flowers, or if you took me out for a meal, or if you helped me with money for my rent, those things are good things. Not like what Bono's doing, telling everyone he loves me when he can see that I don't have a job, and I've been telling him for years that I need a job, asking him why doesn't he take us volunteers to his concert, asking him for things that he used to do in the past and he stopped doing. So he mustn't go around telling everybody that he loves me. He doesn't love me. If he loved me, he would have opened doors for me to get a job in banking, a stable job. And the same thing with the bankers. There's no point going around telling everybody that you love me, having me tracked, you're worried about me. You're not worried about me. You're worried about yourself and your bank account and your life. So don't pretend that you're worried about me. Don't pretend.